Athlon RangeCraft Chronograph versus the Garmin Xero C1 Pro. Both use Doppler radar, both promise reliable velocity without touching your barrel, and they sit close enough in price that the real question is whether Garmin's extra cost actually buys you better readings and a smarter app, or just a bigger name. Spending more isn't automatically the right call, and saving isn't either. By the end, you'll know which one fits your bench. Let's break it down. Let's start with the thing you're actually paying for: trustworthy data. Both of these read shots without touching your barrel, and both are genuinely good at it. But there's a real difference in how they grab shots. The Athlon RangeCraft is fast. People who've run it next to a Garmin say the read time is noticeably quicker, and it's forgiving on placement too. Sit it on the bench, fire a pistol standing way past the recommended distance, and it still catches the shot. One owner clocked 82 rounds in a single session with not one miss. That's the kind of consistency you want for load development. The Garmin Xero earns the same trust, just with a smarter trigger. It fires on the radar-detecting movement, not muzzle blast, so a shooter next to you won't poison your data. The community reports almost no dropped shots over hundreds of rounds, with the rare miss showing up on rimfire. Both handle rapid strings well. Though the Garmin can choke if you outrun it, it won't read a shot while it's still thinking about the last one. Straight up, both are reliable enough that I wouldn't lose sleep over either. The RangeCraft feels a hair quicker, the Garmin feels a hair smarter about ignoring noise. Now, setup. This is where shooters who hate fiddling at the bench will care most. Good news, both are basically plug and shoot. Charge it, set it beside the muzzle, point it downrange. Start a session. No sky screens, no sunshades, no aligning over a narrow window like the old optical units. The Garmin walks you through a clean little diagram showing exactly where to place it, and people coming off of finicky Magnetospeed or Caldwell describe the switch as night and day. The Athlon is just as painless. Set it 5 inches off the barrel and go. One catch on the Garmin: the radar wants roughly 20 yards of clear space to the backstop, so cramped indoor ranges can fight it. On this, they're close enough that it comes down to your range, not the gear. And if this comparison is helping you sort it out, subscribe. Your support is what keeps these deep comparisons coming. The app. This is where the gap opens up. Both sync over Bluetooth and store your strings, but the Garmin ShotView app is simply more polished. It pairs cleanly, holds thousands of shots across sessions, and exports clean CSV files for your ballistics solver. The Athlon app does more on paper. It's a full ballistics calculator that shows holdovers right on your reticle if you run Athlon Glass. When it works, it's a cool little ecosystem, but the sorting is rough. One owner who carefully labeled every session and load found the app just dumped everything into one pile and the sort button did nothing. Another mentioned pairing oddities. The unit briefly identified itself as a Ford Mustang. Funny, but it tells you the software isn't finished. If a clean data workflow matters to you, the Garmin is ahead here. On size, both pack down small, but the Garmin is the pocketable one. About 3.5 ounces, and it disappears into a range bag. The Athlon is a bit heavier with a stouter base, which some shooters actually prefer because it holds steady in wind. Neither clutters the bench. Battery is a quick one. The Garmin gives you a full day, roughly 6 hours or a couple thousand shots, and it holds its charge for months in storage, which is great if you're forgetful. The Athlon also runs all day. One owner reported 6 to 8 range trips, and the battery still showed 75%. Both charge over USB-C. No real loser here. Durability. Both are rugged and rated to shrug off rain and dust. The Athlon at IP67 and the Garmin at IPX7. So for outdoor range life, they're a wash. Which brings us to value. They sit in a similar range, with the Garmin typically asking a bit more, and the Athlon often landing for less. What you're paying extra for with Garmin is the refined app, the smaller body, and the brand's long support track record with firmware updates. The Athlon counters with faster reads, a forgiving setup, and that ballistics ecosystem if you're in the Athlon optics world. On discounts, Garmin tends to hold its price, while the Athlon more often comes in as the cheaper buy from the start. Here's the call. Neither one wins at everything, so your bench decides this one. If a clean data workflow is what you care about, the Garmin Xero is the pick. The app is more polished, it exports cleanly, and the body disappears into a range bag. If your priority is faster reads and a forgiving setup, especially if you already run Athlon Glass, the RangeCraft makes more sense and usually costs you less. One thing straight up, if your range is cramped indoors, the Garmin's radar wants room, so lean Athlon there. Garmin tends to hold its price, while the Athlon shows up cheaper more often, so watch for it. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below with the current price.